The first part of our activity is going to be about storytelling. And you can't tell a story if you don't have a story to tell. So the first tool that I'd like to show you today is a text generator, which is going to take in a text prompt as an input and generate a continuation of that prompt as an output. This is a really great tool to use if you're having trouble coming up with ideas. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how it works. You start out just by entering a text prompt. And for making a story, I recommend starting with like a character, some kind of location, and maybe an event that is happening. So I'm going to use the example that I was showing you in the previous video with SpongeBob being shipwrecked on an island. So I'm going to say SpongeBob is shipwrecked on an island. And let's see what we end up with here. So as a note, this tool is really great, but it doesn't necessarily sanitize the output. So it's possible to end up with an output that isn't appropriate for the classroom. Basically, the tool tries to match the tone and topic of your input. So it means if you put something inappropriate in, there's a chance that you'll get something inappropriate out. So I think that this could be a really great tool for something like a demo at the front of a classroom, or maybe helping out a student who might struggle a little bit with brainstorming. But let's see what we got here. So what this has actually done is it has given me a video game idea as an output. So maybe I'm going to try just running this again. I'm not looking for a video game today. You can get some really creative outputs here. Oh, this is fantastic though. Okay. So this is SpongeBob was shipwrecked on an island, and it's up to him to find a way to get back to his home of Jellyfish Fields. And basically it tells me a whole story here. When he searches for a home, he meets some friends. These friends are the actual characters that are in SpongeBob, and it even says that this is a fan fiction. And what I really like about this is that a computer came up with every sentence of this prompt here. And what we can do is if we need to make it longer, we can actually copy part of our text here and we can keep running this, and we can basically just keep going through this, and we can start editing it and everything like that. And if you want, what these two numbers here mean are basically the higher that each one of them are, the more variation that you'll get in your output. Basically, the more sharper turns it'll take away from what you gave as your input. So this is just a really great way of generating ideas and coming up with a way that you can actually brainstorm ideas. And I think that, again, this is a fantastic fit for students who maybe need a little bit more one-on-one help from either teachers or support staff, because it can help get them started, and it's a great way to keep them engaged, keep their ideas flowing, and that sort of thing. And there's another reason that I'm actually showing you this tool today, and I think that it's important that teachers know that this type of tool exists, because these tools are becoming more and more prevalent. And while the one that I'm showing you today is a free tool that is quite widely available, it's a little gimmicky, and there are actually better versions of it that exist outside on the internet if you're willing to pay money. And people are already using these things to help them write things like news articles and essays. And these tools are on their way to becoming a lot more powerful. And I really don't think it'll be very long before students start using them. And so as educators, we have to ask, what does it mean to produce your own work? I think that these tools will be important to know how to use well in the future, because they probably will be extremely useful. But there's also a lot of room for things like academic dishonesty here. And I think that it would be a real shame if we just started using it for everything and we began to outsource all of our basic writing skills to a computer. So while I don't have a solution to this problem of students using it in schools, I think it's a discussion that's worth having, and I think that it is an important thing to be aware of.